Most games get harder the longer you survive. That's really just good game design, but some survival games don't just get more difficult, they get unhinged. The world of the game turns against you, from the weather to the enemies to the resources, even your own well-being. Those things deteriorate and get worse the longer you stay alive. And as time goes on, you're not just asking, how do I win? You're asking, how much worse could this possibly get? In today's video, I'm breaking down 5 survival games where the world actively tries to break you. And the longer you go without breaking, the more unhinged it gets. Let's get into it. We're starting on the cannibal-infested island of Sons of the Forest. When you first crash land on this island, the cannibals aren't throwing everything at you. They start out more curious than anything, watching you from the tree line and approaching in small groups to test your defenses. It's almost manageable, at least at first, because the longer you stay alive, the more the island wants to test you. Those small scouting parties of cannibals are replaced by full-on raids. The cannibals feel stronger, they're better armed, and they're much more aggressive. And as if that wasn't enough, the mutants that live deep in the cave systems of the island start to come up to the surface. Terrifying creatures that were supposed to stay underground now roam freely. And every day you survive increases your odds of running into something violent, horrifying, and way above anything you were ever trained for. The seasons also change. Pretty fall colors shift to brutal winters, but honestly, the weather is the least of your concerns. Now we're moving from a hostile island to somewhere that feels almost normal, apart from all the zombies. Project Zomboid drops you into a fictionalized county in Kentucky. Early on, it feels weirdly comfortable. You've got running water, electricity, pantries, and refrigerators stocked with food. Despite the zombie apocalypse, you're actually doing all right for yourself. But all that comfort has an expiration date, literally, because food expires with time, forcing you to forage in the woods and try to learn how to fish before starvation takes you out. Then the power goes out and the water shuts off. You'll find yourself collecting water from rain barrels and scrambling for generators to keep things powered. And the zombies don't just stay where you left them. You could clear a neighborhood, think that you're safe, settle down, and wake up to a new horde that's moving right back in. No matter how long you survive or how well fortified your base is, you can never really feel safe in this game. And that's the entire point. And on the subject of never feeling safe, let's talk about the Long Dark. Because in this game, even the weather is out to get you. Honestly, especially the weather. You already know the cold is your constant enemy, but what a lot of players don't realize is that it actually gets worse the longer you survive. Depending on your difficulty, the temperature drops aggressively over time. Those long journeys for resource gathering become even more hazardous. And on top of that, that carefully maintained set of clothing that's keeping you alive, it's degrading day by day. Your boots wear thin, your jacket becomes ragged, and you're forced to keep scavenging for materials to repair what's literally falling apart on your body. But where it truly gets unhinged is the way that wildlife shifts. Primarily, cougars migrate into regions where they weren't before. You'll be freezing with your clothes falling apart, snow falling endlessly around you, and now there's a new predator in your region that wasn't there yesterday. The Long Dark doesn't need mutants or raiders, it really just needs time. And as long as you keep trying to survive, it has all the time that it needs. Frostpunk builds on the environmental cruelty of the Long Dark and adds something even more disturbing: other people, a society. The temperature in Frostpunk starts at a nice warm -20 Celsius, which is manageable, at least for the apocalypse, but it can drop to -120 degrees Celsius. Let that sink in. At that point, you're not just managing a city, you are fighting physics itself. Every building, every person, they need heat, which burns through resources, which forces you to expand, which means more buildings that need heat. It's a vicious cycle. But what makes Frostpunk genuinely unhinged isn't the cold, it's what the cold does to your society and to you. When things get desperate, you'll face choices that would have been unthinkable on day one. Child labor to speed up production, religious fanaticism to keep people in line and to keep people hopeful. You can easily become a monster, and the game doesn't condemn you, it just asks how much further you're willing willing to go. Environmental decay, moral decay, and resource depletion. Frostpunk checks every box on the everything gets worse list, and then it just rolls up its sleeves ready for more. And finally, let's talk about Rimworld. This game takes everything we've talked about already and puts it in the hands of an AI storyteller whose only job is to make your life interesting in the worst ways possible. On the surface, the game is simple. Build a colony and accumulate wealth to survive. But the storyteller is constantly watching your progress. The more valuable your colony gets, the larger the raids become. Better gear means bigger threats. More colonists means more mouths to feed and putting an even larger target on your back. But what separates Rimworld from everything else on this list is the way your pawns can fall apart. In most games, your characters get stronger over time, but in Rimworld, they get older and more susceptible to debilitating health issues. Dementia, bad backs, failing vision, even slower movement. The people that you've been relying on for years start to fall apart from the inside, and you still need them to help hold everything together. So you're caught in this cycle of upgrading defenses, surviving the next threat, and watching your pawns deteriorate as things keep getting worse and worse. It's honestly the most brutal, unhinged survival loop I've ever seen. No other game makes you feel quite as much like you're losing while you're actually winning somehow. So there you have it, 5 survival game worlds that punish you for doing the thing you're supposed to do, survive. Some of them drop mutants at your door, some freeze you out, and some even make you the villain in your own survival story. But they all have one thing in common. The longer you survive, the more the game tries to break you. Which of these games do you think gets the most unhinged? I honestly can't decide, and if there's a game that deserves to be on this list, please let me know in the comments. If you like more content like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.